Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over some knee-jerk reactions for Game Week 15. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, how did you get on in Game Week 14, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, another red arrow for me in Game Week 14. I thought I had an alright week with 64 points, but no, I did go down from 21k to 28k, so that's 3 red arrows in a row. They have been very small red arrows, but it's still not nice getting constant red arrows, so hopefully next week we can sort it out. I'll go with my team selection and everything in tomorrow's video or Wednesday's video or whatever, but either way, let's just do a quick rundown of my Game Week 14 team. So yeah, 64 points, my Game Week rank of 4 million. I think the Arsenal game is what really hurt me, and it could have been a lot worse because obviously Saka picked up an assist really early on, and I thought it was just going to absolutely haul, and he easily could have, but of course came off with that injury. So I really hope he's okay, especially for like the World Cup and everything. But yeah, the Arsenal game 5-0. There was a lot of highly owned players that did well, like obviously Jesus getting 2 assists and a bonus point. Of course Martinelli scored, but everyone has him. Obviously they got the clean sheet as well, so your Ramsdales, your Ben White, Salibas, Gabriel, stuff like that, all of those got nice points and stuff. So yeah, it really hurt, but either way, this is how my game week went. So Gaeta being an absolute hero once again, getting me 9 points. Honestly, I thought I made a bad decision going for Gaeta over other players on my wildcard, but I worked it out, and I think he's got like 29 points over his last like 6 games, so that's averaging out at nearly 5 points per game, so that's nearly like a clean sheet every game. So honestly, not bad at all picking Gaeta. I know he's got West Ham away and then Forest away, so probably won't keep a clean sheet in either of those games. But either way, I mean, like an average of like 4.8 points or something per game. That's not bad for like a 4.5 mil keeper. So yeah, Gaeta getting me 9 points. Van Dijk getting me 1 point. I was so sure that I was going to get a clean sheet. Liverpool at home to Leeds, who have been terrible. Van Dijk never lost a game at home at Anfield in the Premier League. That obviously came to an end, so yeah, getting 1 point, really unfortunate there. I mean, I didn't watch the Liverpool game, but yeah, I cannot believe they didn't come away with a clean sheet in that game. Cancelo with the 6 points, Trippier with the 11 points. Again, doesn't really matter about those 2 players, they're so highly owned. Diego Dallo being an absolute hero though. I watched the United game and I was like really worried the whole time, because not only did De Gea pull off some incredible saves, but Dallo also had a really good game. He's only had like 1 assist all season, but he's picked up a lot of bonus points, and from watching him last night, I can see why. Like, he's so good defensively in the box, and he's also not on any set pieces, but he created like 20 odd chances this season. So honestly, a really good player. He's got really nice fixtures up until the World Cup and after the World Cup. So yeah, I think Dallo is just going to be a starter in my team like every single week. They do have 2 away games up until the World Cup, which is a bit unfortunate, but honestly, with the form that Dallo's in and the form that United are in, I've got no problem playing Dallo in every single game week. So that's the back line. Actually did really well. The one player that I thought was definitely going to keep a clean sheet though, which was Van Dijk, didn't, but the rest of the players did really well. Quite lucky that Haaland didn't play, because that's who Dallo came in for, and obviously if I didn't get those extra 9 points, it could have been a lot worse. The midfield, I actually made a good transfer for once. Now, I don't know if you made your transfers just before the deadline, but I did. It was like 2 minutes before, and the app just kept crashing and stuff, and obviously I did billing to Almiron, and I just wasn't sure if it came through, because I saw the early team news that, you know, Haaland wasn't in the squad, Foden was benched, and so what I wanted to do was take billing out for Almiron and then play him, and then obviously Foden was still on my team and I was trying to get rid of him and stuff. It was just a whole mess, but luckily it did all go through. And obviously if I had that 0.1 extra money, I would have gone Saka over Almiron for billing. So I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't have that 0.1 extra, because I brought Almiron in, and it was actually the best transfer I've made all season, because not only did he get a goal, he also got an assist and some bonus as well. So really happy with the Almiron shout there. Martinelli getting me 8 points. Zaha, the most frustrating player. Oh my god, I cannot wait to get him out of my team. I'm going to hold him to the World Cup, because like there's no reason not to, and I've got other fires in my team that need to be put out, like Tony, obviously suspended for the Forest game. Really annoying as a Tony owner, just didn't need to pick up that yellow card at all. So yeah, Zaha unfortunately is just going to stay in my team. Pereira getting me 3 points as well. Could have easily got something from that game though, created like 7 chances. And then yeah, my captaincy was just awful this week. I mean, Kane not being involved in 3 Spurs goals, or Son as well, like it's just unheard of. So really unfortunate. And then yeah, Tony picking up a 1-pointer as well. Been so frustrating owning Tony. The only time he's really returned for me was when he got those 12 points. was it against Brighton or something? And also he scored a goal against Newcastle from the penalty spot, but like he's not really been a great own for me, and he's just picking up yellow cards left, right and centre. So, you know, maybe it was nice that I can get rid of him this week, but yeah, Tony's gone out of my team. And then obviously the bench, Haaland with 0, Kilman with 2, and then Foden with 1. I obviously kept Foden, so I'm really hoping he plays against Fulham at home, because otherwise my team's not going to look as good. We'll have to see what happens in the Champions League and stuff midweek. But either way, that was my team. Red Arrow, 64 points. Could have been better. Again, if I I don't know who else I would have captained, really. I never would have going to have the balls to go for like Almiron or Martinelli or something like that. But yeah, Kane, it was just unfortunate picking up a yellow card as well. I think he's 1 card away from a suspension now as well, which is even more annoying. But either way, that's my Game Week 14 team. Moving on to the most transferred in players for Game Week 15, and Wilson is the most transferred in player. I mean, I'm not surprised. Got like, what, 19 points or something like that? Absolute monster haul from Wilson. And I mean, a lot of people are just getting rid of Tony for Wilson. And I mean, that's the move that I've already made this week. I've already done my transfer. There was just too much money like in my team that, like, I feel like Wilson's going to get another price rise and Tony's probably going to get another price drop by the time it's the next deadline. So I didn't really see the point of losing 0.4, you know. Wilson isn't going to play midweek, so he's not going to get injured. Of course, there are European games midweek, so some other players could get injured and stuff. You know, there's Haaland as well, who's also a doubt. He won't be ready for the Sevilla game, but Pep did say that hopefully he can help him against Fulham. But as long as Haaland comes off the bench, if he does start there, you know, he can easily haul. So, yeah, I've already made my transfer. I just didn't think there was a point of losing like 0.4 mil just for a transfer I knew I was going to make. And you know, my bench is pretty strong as well. I've got like Kilman at home to Brighton this week, which again isn't really something that I want to play, but could happen. I've got Van Dijk away at Tottenham, who I could play this week, and I've got Pereira against City. So I've got all playing players, so worst comes to worst, I just play one of those. But I needed to get rid of Tony anyway because he couldn't play, so he was always going to be my transfer, and I don't think there's a better transfer really than Wilson, especially with like the form that Newcastle are in, and obviously Wilson's on pens as well, so of course is an injury doubt in terms of like, you know, he does pick them up quite often, but hopefully he wants that World Cup spot, so he's going to just be in the form of his life hopefully up until the World Cup. So yeah, Wilson's most transferred in player. Almiron, another most transferred in player as well. Again, I think I'm going to make a little bit of money this week because a lot of players on the most transferred in are in my squad. So yeah, Wilson, Almiron. I mean, Almiron is just such a good player. Like, I love the dude. He's just such a... Oh, man. Can't believe it. Like, I thought I'd missed the train for the Almiron hauls, but no, got the biggest haul yet. Not of the season, but, like, since I was thinking of bringing him in, he got, like, 10, then he got 12. So, yeah, absolute golden player. Only, like, 5.5 mil or something now, but, yeah, such a good player to have in your team. And then Trossard as well, another player that, you know, I probably was going to bring in this week if Tony didn't pick up that extra yellow card, because Trossard's got some nice fixtures. He's got Wolves away and then Villa at home. I think he can score in both of those games. And I think that he's going to be a really good shout this week. And again, he's basically playing as like a forward at the moment. So yeah, Trossard is a player that I would have got rid of Zaha for, but I've already made my transfer. And I don't really want to take a -4. I don't need to get rid of Zaha. It's just really annoying owning him. And then De Bruyne, another player most transferred in. I don't really know what people are kind of transferring into De Bruyne from. Maybe they're getting rid of Foden or something, but that's a lot of money to bring in. So I think, you know, unless you own like Son or something, I don't think people are really getting rid of Salah for him. But either way, I don't know. It's gonna be a good transfer because De Bruyne is just playing like ridiculous. Also, I mean, that free kick was just ridiculous. And then Dalot, another player that a lot of people are bringing in. Again, he's just got really nice fixtures. You know, he's a starter. He's only like I think he's like 4.7 now, to be fair. It's still really cheap for a really good player. And again, he's only had 1 assist all season, but he's picking up bonus points left, right, and center. And that's not even him being on set pieces. So you can see how good he is in that team. Either way, though, those are the most transferred in players for Game Week 15. Moving on to the most transferred out players for Game Week 15, though, and Tony, of course, does take the top spot. 590,000 people taking him out. I mean, everybody kind of wanted him for the Forest game, and now he's not even going to play. So, again, as a Tony owner, it was really, really annoying. But I also wanted him out of my team as well. He picked up yellow cards left, right, and center. And he's not helping himself either. Like, these are the games where he really needs to perform to get a place on that plane. And, you know, at the moment in time, I'd probably take Wilson over him because Wilson's the one in form. Tony's just not really doing much. But either way, most transferred out player this week is Tony. Foden is another player that is the most transferred out. I personally wouldn't get rid of him. I'd sit and wait, see what happens in the Champions League and stuff. Like, if he doesn't start in the Champions League, then maybe he has just fell out of favour, then fair play. But, you know, if he does play like 45 minutes in the Champions League, that means he's probably going to start next weekend. As well as that, I think City are the early game as well, so we're probably going to get leaked team news again, so that's going to be really useful, beneficial for your captaincy for like Haaland and stuff, whether you start Foden. But I kept Foden. I feel like he's still going to play, and, you know, Fulham at home is a nice fixture for City, so that's why I really wanted him. And then Zaha is another player that a lot of people are transferring out. Again, he's just really annoying to own. I think he scored 1 goal, which was against Wolves, since I've owned him, and I put him on my wild card in like game week 9. So, oh no, he also picked up an assist as well, I think, and Eze scored it. But either way, he's not been a great transfer in. Just a player that I can't wait to get rid of. These free transfers of the World Cup, they cannot come quick enough. And then Anthony as well, another player that's picked up an injury. So again, I think Ten Hag's comments was that he was going to be back soon, but either way, a lot of people are just jumping off him. Probably going to go down to like Almiron and stuff like that. And then Mason Mount as well, another player that has fell out of favour with quite a few managers as well. 80,000 transfers out. Yeah, Chelsea, I mean, they just didn't look good against Brighton. I don't know, there was 2 own goals and stuff, and I think they might have had a better XG than Brighton or something like that. I'm not sure. But either way, like, yeah, Chelsea assets, I think, are a bit of an avoid at the moment. Also, Kepa came off at like half-time as well, which was quite interesting. But either way, that is the most transferred in and out players for Game Week 15. Only a couple game weeks now until the World Cup. We've got Game Week 15 and Game Week 16, and then it's free transfers. 10-play teams are going to be back. Yeah, I really need 2 green arrows on the bounce for Game Week 15 and 16, because I don't want another 2 red arrows. I forgot what it feels like to see green on my screen. And again, they are small red arrows, but it's still annoying. I want some green arrows, and I thought I was going to get one this week. My team looks really, really good on paper, but yeah, unfortunately, just wasn't the case. Anyway, though, that's going to be everything from me. If you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below, leave a comment. How did your Game Week 14 go? Subscribe if you're brand new. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Until next time, peace.